We need to start thinking about separating income from work. Now, to many women, this is not a new or revolutionary idea. Parenting, looking after the sick and elderly, of whom there will be a lot more, volunteering in the community. A huge amount of unpaid work goes on in our society, but also other things like arts, culture, research, innovation. They all have a huge impact and contribution to our society, but typically do not attract an income.
So my proposal of freedom dividend would be $1,000 a month in the hands of every American adult starting at age 18 until the day you die, $12,000 a year. One of the biggest misconceptions is that universal basic income or the freedom dividend is somehow going to reduce work. Because number one, it recognizes a lot of the work that we're already doing that does not get recognized. And it would be an enormous catalyst to entrepreneurship, arts, creativity, nurturing, caregiving, all these things we kind of want to do that the market says it's not worth enough for you to make a living at it, so don't do it. So it would create and recognize and reward a lot of the work that we're trying to do.
Meaningful work is being with us forever and will be with us forever. It's not jobs. Jobs are simply a subset of work.
We have to transform what we think of as tangible value. So if you make another human being stronger and healthier, that's
good.
Yeah, immensely valuable.
Yeah.
It's just right now our economic statistics don't value that appropriately.
We need to discard all forms of social programs and replace it with one: universal basic income, which is the individual right for every citizen to unconditionally get an income from the state on a regular basis. As a capitalist, as a business owner, I demand that out of my leader. I am willing to pay higher taxes for that. Without it, we will destroy the fabric of society as we know it today. Universal basic income is not about increasing dependence. It's about meeting the Maslow hierarchy of needs at the lowest level. Universal basic income is something we can afford. Universal basic income will make us greater. Our greatest innovations weren't from the hungry, homeless people who didn't have shelter.
We need to start finding new pursuits and jobs and ways to value our own time. If you imagine what $12,000 a year would mean in a town of, let's call it 100,000 adults, you're talking about another $12 million like a month that's coming through that town. And so that doesn't just help the individuals, that supercharges the local businesses, it supercharges the local nonprofits, it supercharges the volunteer organizations. And so when you say what do the jobs of the future look like, it could be that 20 years from now, it's very normal to work in a job that just helps make other people stronger, healthier, mentally healthier, helps clean our environment. Things that right now there's no market demand for, there could actually be massive opportunities in. The problem right now is that, again, we're following capital efficiency and it says these things are worth zero.
Right. It's time to negotiate a new social contract. And it's likely that a basic income will be part of that conversation. We cannot resist the trends of technological unemployment. We have to address a financial system that is on its last legs. We have to build a system that is more human, that recognizes us as social creatures, not economic creatures.
And so you and me together have to start this revolution, which is, let's think of work to take us to our highest aspirations and bring us meaning. And let us demand from our leaders this notion of universal basic income.
And I think the problem we have at the moment is that instead of being citizens, we've gone back to those days of Magna Carta, where we've actually become subjects. In the economic state that we have, there is no room for the citizen. We have somehow contracted out our rights and our duties and have become subjects The subject's an interesting person. The subject is passive, is a victim, is represented, is served, is a beneficiary. I don't like that word. And is ultimately a consumer. It's easy. Sit back. You'll be served, you'll be given stuff, buy stuff on credit, and you'll be fine. Even the government in its communications talks about us as consumers. That's all we hear. The concept of the citizen has really disappeared out of our lexicon.
We have lost confidence in our government. We also lost confidence in our government to update its own operating system.
Right.
So we have a choice. You can take the blue pill and keep going along the same path, and you'll get the same result. Or you can take the red pill and take a harder, more difficult path, maybe the path less traveled, and become a citizen. The choice, my friends, is yours.